But the big story, one of the country's biggest landowners, the Indian Railways, is finally coming to the rescue of developers. After a decade in the works, the railway claims it's now aggressively, well, finally is all that we can say, looking to monetize its land assets and has already earmarked several plots in the land-starved city of Mumbai. That's a move that has Mumbai's realty sector in a tizzy. Several big developers are eyeing the land parcels. Nikhil Sivdas has this report.
Land in India has always been at a premium and hard to come by. But that has never been a problem for the various central and state organizations that hold massive land banks across the country. The Indian Railways, for instance, holds an estimated 43,000 hectares of land across India, and much of it is unutilized. Now, after years of delays, the Railway Land Development Authority, or RLDA, is finally poised to monetize its considerable land bank.
The mandate is for all the zonal railways all over India, and we so far we have got some 65, though we were told some 100 sites, but out of that nearly 65 sites have been found commercially amenable, and the cost may be anything upwards of rupees 8,000 crores.
Kicking things off in Mumbai, the RLDA has floated tenders asking real estate developers to bid for 4.3 hectares of prime land in Bandra East, which will then be given out on 45-year leases. Sources told NDTV that several big realty players including Lodha, Kalpataru and DLF among others have already expressed an interest in this property. Experts say that the plot's proximity to the BKC and its commercial tag are making it a big draw for developers.
The kinds of advantages BKC enjoys are the same and are applicable for this plot as well. And given the fact that it's going to be there with the developer for a good tenure, 49, 50 years, I think developers who have a long-term vision and have strong financials to have this asset on a long-term basis should find this plot interesting.
The organization plans to monetize other land parcels in the city and release them for mixed-use development. By the end of the year, the RLDA plans to float tenders for its prime land parcels in Mahalakshmi, Kurla and Wadala, areas which have been nearly tapped out in terms of fresh supply.
For Mahalakshmi and Wadala, we have already floated the tenders for consultancy. After the consultants give us their report, we will be floating tenders for commercial development of these two lands.
These locations are very good because they are touching to the railway stations or railway connectivity. So connectivity angle is very good, and that will definitely be having us very specific demand of retail and commercial, and if it is a little farther, then it is a residential also.
This time around, the RLDA is offering better terms including higher FSIs and an increased lease term. However, considering their past track record, developers are still wary.
I'm very unhappy because long time which is being taken by the government agencies for disposing their own land is something a serious issue, because last 10-15 years if they are taking by the time they throw the land parcels in the market, it's not good sign. I think they need to work it out what is the surplus land, and they must see how the best way could be monetized. Secondly, they should not depend on one simple theory of auctioning it, because it enhances the overall valuation in the area. They can work it out joint venture basis, joint revenue sharing methods and so on.
For a land-starved realty sector, the move by government organizations, including the railways, to monetize its land assets is a big step. However, the time frame being taken is far too long, with sometimes a process taking up to a decade to complete. And that's proving to be a major deterrent which the government needs to step in to correct. From Mumbai, Nikhil Sivdas, NDTV.